celebrate Labor Day, we'll take a look at some of today's events. Plus, summer might be coming to an end, but Halloween season is gearing up to take its place. And we take a deep dive into our J365 program and highlight one of its reporters.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Elise Noe. A Missouri family wants answers after police tased a 5-year-old boy at a Labor Day festival. Officers say it was an accident. Part of the incident was caught on video. Diamond Palmer reports.
I could hear him screaming in the background and I didn't really know what happened.
It's a mother's worst nightmare. Bystander video capturing the moments in which Zoe Fortenberry's son Jackson was tased. Video shows him on the left side of your screen with his uncle Jeremiah. Fun quickly turned to chaos at an annual Labor Day picnic. According to Deloge police, they deployed a taser at 2 men fighting that ended up bouncing off the ground and hitting 5-year-old Jackson.
So we had just left, and like 5 minutes later, my brother had called me and said that he asked where we was and said that there was an incident and that we needed to come back.
As soon as we opened the door and he seen that was me and his mom, he just grabbed a hold of us and started, crying.
The family says the police never apologized for their actions, and they want to know why a taser was used in such a high traffic area.
I just don't think tasers was necessary, especially in a crowd with a lot of kids and a lot of people.
According to Deloge Police Department, the first taser strike hit one suspect successfully. When the officer fired a second time, intending to hit the second suspect, that's when it hit Jackson. A day later, Jackson is back on his feet and returning to normal activities. But his family says that doesn't stop the trauma of the situation.
You don't want them to fear officers, so you have to let them know that they're not the bad guys. But then again, how do you explain how he was tased?
As for what's next for the family, they say time will tell as the Deloge Police Department proceeds.
Was everything done that should have been done? Is kind of why we're waiting on the investigation. Was this prevented or could have been prevented is the question.
Jackson's family plans to meet with police on Tuesday, hoping they get more answers about the incident. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a hot one for us today as we did go into the upper 90s for afternoon highs. Average high is 86 degrees and it's still fairly warm out there right now. Our upper 70s to near 80, and then once you get out into our western counties, we're still in the upper 80s, so it's warm, it's sticky. And that's what we're going to have as we go through the overnight hours. 79 by 11, a few scattered showers start to work in late tonight into the morning hours. Overnight low right around 73. Back to 82 by 10 a.m. We're pretty quiet right now, but again, after midnight, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, we'll start to see some scattered showers, even a few scattered thunderstorms trying to pop up across the region. Very hit and miss. Then they fall apart as we go through the morning hours. So we aren't going to get heavy amounts from rain from this, but we do have more rain chances in the forecast. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
Thanks, Doug. In celebration of Labor Day, Uniontown, Kansas hosted their annual Old Settlers Picnic. Fort Scott Community College students, athletes, and staff took part in the parade and volunteered with the Kids Carnival. Hundreds were in attendance for the event, which also included a vintage car show and picnic. KOAM's Jasmine Knight was one of the hundreds in attendance.
Today was the last day of Uniontown's Old Settlers Picnic, as it celebrates its 117th year. The picnic has taken place during Labor Day weekend since 1905, and each year the picnic just grows bigger and bigger.
As you can see, there's lots of people here. Most of us know each other. It's just great fun. We just do it once a year and everybody gets together and has a good time.
This year, the 3-day picnic event featured multiple parades, a youth rodeo, a bass tournament, 5K run, and so much more. In addition, various vendors and food trucks were set up. Guests could also play different games and other activities. Overall, everyone had a blast.
I mean, just getting everybody together and showing support for the smaller people instead of, the bigger stores and helping out everybody. That's big for smaller companies like us.
The Old Settlers Picnic even succeeded at their biggest goal, which is to bring the community together.
I would say probably half of them are from out of town. They come from Fort Scott, they come from Girard, Pittsburgh, they come from a lot of different places.
Just the turnout. I mean, it's a pretty small community, and it looks like just about everybody in the community is here to support it, so that's a good turnout.
So even if you missed it this year, be sure to check out Old Settlers Picnic every Labor Day weekend. Reporting in Uniontown, Jasmine Knight, KOAM News.
For additional information about next year's picnic or how to be a part of the events, you can visit their Facebook page. School is out for the Labor Day holiday, and some Joplin students spent the afternoon skating. Roller City Entertainment hosted Mania Monday as a way to provide some fun on their day off while staying active.
That just offering, more things for families and kids to do to better safe and fun and active is a really great opportunity that we can provide for families.
The roller rink offered half-price admissions for Monday. And more Labor Day festivities went on in Fort Scott. Labors and leisure on the frontier took place today to celebrate the holiday. Throughout the weekend, the Fort Scott National Historic Site invited guests to enjoy live music, ice cream, and a variety of history demonstrations on an 1840s frontier post. The Prairie Sunflower Strings presented a concert this morning featuring folk music.
So today was really kind of low key. We had a couple of living history stations. We had a musical program earlier today at 11 a.m. and then we had a couple of guided tours.
All events were free and open to the public to celebrate the holiday weekend. Coming up, mental health sites are looking to advance their systems.
Communities across the country are advancing the ways officials respond to mental health calls. I'm Jackie Ibanez with a look at why a growing number are shifting away from sending the police. That's all straight ahead.
A number of the nation's most populous sites are advancing the creation and usage of alternative response teams, featuring paramedics instead of police to address nonviolent mental health calls. Fox News correspondent Jackie Ibanez takes a look at what advocates say is driving the changes.
Okay, bye. Efforts to tackle the nation's ongoing mental health crisis are seeing some dynamic shifts, with a growing number of communities across the country deploying paramedics and other healthcare professionals to nonviolent mental health calls instead of the police.
I get to meet them in a spot that empowers them for their voice to be heard.
According to research analyzed by the Associated Press, more than a dozen of the 20 most populous cities in America have or are creating these alternative response teams.
We're also seeing people who are struggling with homelessness as well as substance abuse.
And while they go by different names, from New York's Be Heard initiative to the STAR program in Denver and beyond, team members say their goal is to not only keep people having a mental health episode safe, but to get them to the best possible location to assist in their recovery.
What Health One can do, our co-responder program can do, is send people to homeless shelters, to clinics, to outpatient-based programs.
Advocates of these teams also say crew members have more time to spend addressing mental health calls than most police.
They are very proficient in de-escalating clients who are in behavioral or emotional crisis, and they have the time to spend. If that takes 2 hours, they can spend 2 hours. An engine or an aid car can't spend that time. They have to get back in service.
Meanwhile, critics argue some alternative programs need to boost funding to increase the number of calls they can respond to. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.
As summer winds down, there's a looming fear for many students heading back to school, driven by a shortage of ADHD medications. The CDC estimates 6 million children between the ages of 3 and 17 have been diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. The condition can cause behavioral problems in addition to leading to poor performance in the classroom. And Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, Labor Day weekend is drawing in big crowds.
Well, it turned out to be a hot one for us today. Temperatures all the way up into the mid to upper 90s. For most of us, we did get a few scattered thunderstorms across the region, but overall, it's a pretty nice day. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Now, it looks pretty good right now. We have clear skies. All right, we could use a little bit of rain. Some areas picked up some today, mainly in southwestern Missouri, but for the year, we're only at 21.7 inches. We are 10.5 inches behind where we should be, but we do have some rain chances in the forecast, which is good. Now, right now, nothing is going on out there. Temperatures, pretty good. Upper 70s once you get into southwestern Missouri, but still upper 80s. In southeastern Kansas, also northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Joplin currently sitting at 80, feels like 83. Southerly winds are light at about 10 miles per hour. There's a little breeze out there as well. The winds have calmed down just a little bit, but we've had gusts at times anywhere from 20 upwards to 30 miles per hour throughout the afternoon hours. The winds are going to stay breezy once again as we go through the overnight hours tonight and then once again on Tuesday. Not much going on for us at this point in time. We had a few scattered showers southwestern Missouri earlier this evening. You can see this batch pushing off toward the east. Right now we're pretty quiet, but I do think we'll get at least a few scattered thunderstorms popping up late tonight. We have this system out across the western high plains, which is going to start to work in over the next 24 hours, at least giving us some chances for rain, which is good. We definitely need it. All right, hit and miss showers popping up late tonight into tomorrow morning. These are going to be fairly light, but we are going to get some that work through. Most likely falling apart right around the noon hour. Mostly cloudy skies. We're sitting into the upper 80s. Once we get into late afternoon, a cold front starts to slice in. Still ahead of it, we go into the mid 90s, but scattered thunderstorms along the I-44 corridor will start to pop up tomorrow evening. You can see the hit and miss storms. Some of these could be a little bit on the stronger side tomorrow evening. Now, if you live north of I-44, you mainly stay dry. Scattered thunderstorms continue tomorrow evening and then pretty much push out of here by the time we get into, let's say after midnight tomorrow night. But at least some of us will get a little bit of rain. We start into the upper 60s on Wednesday, and then once we get into Wednesday afternoon, temperature is pretty good. Upper 80s to near 90, but at least the humidity is going to be a little bit lower than what we saw today, and again, what we're going to see during the daytime hours tomorrow. All right, 96 for us tomorrow, 91 on Wednesday, 95 on Thursday. Some scattered thunderstorms late Thursday into Friday morning, and then again next Sunday into Monday. We need the rain, so we'll definitely take any chances we can get.
Absolutely. I'm ready for the rain
yes,
and fall temperatures for sure. But coming up, a Labor Day weekend might be coming to an end, but travel is expected to continue into the week.
Passengers braved the heat and crowds during one of the busiest travel weekends this year. I'm Garrett Tinney in Chicago with that story coming up.
Labor Day marks the unofficial end to summer, and airports across the country are bracing for big crowds through Wednesday. Fox News correspondent Garrett Tinney has more.
Millions of Americans are hitting the rails, roads, and skies over the Labor Day holiday as they head out for one more summer vacation.
We're going to Hawaii for a vacation.
We kind of just wanted to get here, get in, and just hope nothing gets delayed.
According to TSA, more than 6.8 million passengers passed through security checkpoints from Friday through Sunday. The agency expects to screen more than 14 million people through Wednesday. According to AAA, international bookings increased 44% for Labor Day weekend this year, while domestic bookings are seeing a 4% jump. The most popular destinations for folks traveling in the U.S. are Seattle, Orlando, New York, Anchorage, or Las Vegas.
I'm going to Vegas to celebrate my sister's 30th birthday. She's doing it big, so we're going over.
And after last summer's staffing shortages and technical issues, conditions are improving. According to FlightAware, just 3 dozen flights were canceled as of Monday morning, but some fear delays and cancellations could increase in the coming months, while Southwest pilots and American Airlines flight attendants saying they're ready to strike.
That's going to be the problem facing the government officials is, how far do we let this go? At what point do we intervene and say no.
TSA encourages passengers to get to the airport 2 hours early for domestic flights and 3 hours early for international ones. In Chicago, I'm Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
The free application for federal student aid has some new changes that will affect students and their parents for the 2024 to 2025 school year. The new changes are meant to make applying easier to understand for families. Soon, students will be able to add 20 colleges to their FAFSA instead of the previous 10. To simplify the process for families, the application will have fewer questions. More applicants will also be able to have their financial information directly transferred from the IRS. The new changes are now expected to roll out in December. A famous feline is drawing in crowds up next. A cat named Leo calls a Home Depot in New Jersey home and is catching internet fame along with rodents thanks to one TikTok creator. Fox's Don Timoney has more on this story.
I popped into the Home Depot to meet Leo personally since corporate PR wasn't keen on us bringing in our cameras, and this kitty had a crowd of admirers around him. He's definitely the talk of the store and TikTok.
Leo finds any place in the store to get comfortable. Here he is with his little t-shirt.
Leo the cat is quite the TikTok star. He lives at the Home Depot in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, the store adopting him about a year ago to keep the mice at bay. But thanks to cat lover Jeff Simpkins' videos, Leo is now one famous feline.
The first one I did, the very first day, hit 4.5 million. And I'm happy if I get like 1,000 views on videos before this.
Jeff got hooked on TikTok during the pandemic and started posting videos of his own kitties, Will and Grace. When this cat dad met Leo while shopping at the Home Depot a little over a month ago, he knew this handsome boy was pretty pawsome and decided to chronicle his trips to see Leo on TikTok.
Everybody just loves it. Everybody loves Leo.
Jeff recently posting a video with Leo's favorite Home Depot employee, Donna, who takes extra special care of her furry friend.
She's like the cat mom of Leo. She takes him home on holidays, takes him to his vet appointments. Picks out his food.
I make sure he's taken care of, watered, the whole 9 yards.
Okay. Yeah. Mr. Leo is in good hands.
Yes, he is.
Jeff started an Amazon wish list for his 2 cats a little while back, but has now added Leo, with gifts pouring in for the internet star, along with lots of thank you notes and well wishes.
We love you, Leo, so much. Fun seeing you when we come to the store. Keep up the good work.
This video of Leo's nightly routine has gotten the most views, over 11 million and counting. Jeff says he'll keep the videos coming as long as folks continue to enjoy them.
It makes people feel good. I mean, it brings happiness to a lot of people.
A Home Depot employee telling me he often sees people looking lost in the aisles, and he'll just look at them and say, "Leo?" And they'll shake their heads. Yes, that's who they're looking for. I'm told some people have even driven over an hour and a half just to see the 4-legged star. Dawn Timoney, Fox 29 News.
30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, we get to know one of our J365 reporters and take a look at his journey to the newsroom. Plus,
President Biden celebrates organized labor while unions prepare for potential strikes that could cripple the American economy. I'm Peter Ducey at the White House with that story coming up.
we're introducing you to our new team members. Our latest one is reporter Anthony Saviello. Here's KOAM's Dow Quick to make the introductions.
I have my own personal KOAM lanyard, and I've already gotten some viewers for the news station. Yes, I do. So it is really cool.
Anthony Saviello is used to getting noticed, and he likes it that way.
I could spend all day on stage or in front of a camera. No problem whatsoever.
He says he's always chased the spotlight, performing in front of family, friends, and in school and theater productions. So it's only natural that life led him to his biggest stage yet, reporting news for KOAM.
You know, I wanted to be on camera one day. I wanted to be, you know, that news anchor or this weatherman or this reporter, and now I'm finally getting the chance to do it, and it's just kind of a dream.
Even a self-proclaimed extrovert needs to find some quiet moments. For Anthony, one spot is at the end of a fishing pole.
How about that? Hey, it's not a huge, but that'll do. There's a nice little bluegill there.
While isolation can help recharge, too much can be difficult for some. Anthony says this season of COVID was a challenge for him, and it was then that his mother began her fight against breast cancer.
And I remember about midway through the summer, you know, my parents kept calling my name and I'm just in my room just kind of like bawling my eyes out because I just couldn't take it anymore, you know. All the emotions of having to deal with everything was really difficult.
But difficult seasons come and go, and Anthony found strength through family and especially his mother's spirit.
My mother is now a breast cancer survivor though, which is amazing, and if I could have half the strength my mother does, I know for a fact I could be able to accomplish anything. It taught me a lot about myself and who I am. And then a few months later, after all this stuff happened, I met Courtney. And now I'm married, I'm with the love of my life.
Anthony and Courtney grew up in Springfield. Their careers led them to Lamar, where she teaches.
This is his favorite way to be held.
They do life with their 4 fur kids. A bit chaotic at times, as you'd expect, but a good addition as the young couple focuses on their new careers.
Franklin Technology Center students are getting their hands
Anthony is taken to his new position like, well, a fish to water, and quickly grasped the responsibility that comes with delivering the news.
It was just instant. It was, this is what I'm meant to do, this is where I'm meant to be for sure.
In fact, at this point, he can see himself behind the news desk someday, maybe in my seat. But there's one job that he says might be even better than that.
There it is. Oh, that felt good. Straight down the middle. 250 maybe? 250. Not bad for a rookie. If ever a broadcast, like a golf broadcast job comes up, I will be a golf broadcaster, for sure. Put me on the PGA Tour, absolutely. Absolutely. Tiger Woods would not have done that.
You can meet the rest of our team by heading to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Halloween is right around the corner, and some of the 4 states is already preparing. The old Katy Hospital in Parsons is being transformed into a haunted house again this year. Project Fear is celebrating their 26th haunt season. They plan to kick off the spooky season on September 29th.
Washington school was moving out. We've always wanted to come to the hospital to do the spook house here, but we formed the Historical Society. So then we kind of leased it out to Project Fear so they can do that haunted house here.
And the Katy Hospital was built in the early 1920s. Americans are marking the Labor Day weekend in different ways. For President Biden, however, it's a chance to double down on his support for organized labor at a time when unions are threatening major strikes across the country. Fox News White House correspondent Peter Ducey has more from the North Lawn.
It's the unofficial end of the summer, and millions of Americans are spending this Labor Day getting in one more day under the sun, despite triple-digit temperatures throughout the country.
It is a little toasty for us. We tried to come out a little bit later in the afternoon, still getting caught in the sun, but we're still enjoying it.
Meanwhile, President Biden is marking the holiday at a parade in Philadelphia, celebrating the contributions of organized labor. He calls himself the most pro-union president in American history, saying unions created the middle class, but he claims they're now under attack from the GOP. And he took a shot at his possible 2024 Republican opponent, former President Trump.
When the last guy was here, you were shipping jobs to China. Now we're bringing jobs home from China.
President Biden has been doubling down on his support of unions at a time when the ongoing threat of labor strikes is having a significant impact. Hollywood is already on strike. United Auto Workers is threatening to shut down production at Detroit's big 3 automakers, and unions from Southwest and American Airlines have already voted in favor of a strike. Some critics say the president is giving those unions an unfair advantage.
They feel like they have this friend in the White House who's going to take their side in every labor dispute, and that only emboldens the unions to go on strike more.
Some unions, including the Teamsters, are asking President Biden to stay away from the negotiations and let the process play out. At the White House, Peter Ducey, Fox News.
A bit later, John Dales has highlights on this afternoon's Royals game. And a new dining program seeks to help combat loneliness.
Well, it turned out to be a hot one for us today. Temperatures all the way up into the upper 90s across the region. We did have a few scattered thunderstorms on the Missouri side. Most of us stayed dry, but we do have some better chances for rain as we go through at least the next 24 hours, which is good news. We're dry right now. We're going to stay dry over the next several hours. Temperatures still warm, still kind of sticky out there. A little bit cooler on the Missouri side, where we had some thicker clouds during the evening hours, sitting into low to mid 70s, but still near 90 once you get out into our western counties. Let's go outside. Here's 7th. Here's Rangeline sitting at 80. Still feels like 83. Southerly winds at about 10 and kind of breezy for us today. We have those south winds at about 10 to 20 gusts at times near 30. The winds are going to stay kind of strong once again as we go into really tonight and then on Tuesday as well. All right, not much going on outside for us right now. We look pretty good. We have one little wave shooting off to our east. Here's our next storm system. This system will give us chances for showers and thunderstorms as we go into your Tuesday, which is good. We could use a little bit of rain. So you can see this wave passing by, and then this one is going to drop in and give us those chances for at least a few thunderstorms for us tomorrow. All right, let's step through time. We're going to stop at 3 o'clock in the morning. Scattered showers popping up, very hit and miss. Maybe a random little thunder shower kind of dropping through. Here's 5:30 in the morning. Still hit and miss showers through the morning hours, but kind of falling apart as we work into late morning. So here's the noon hour, upper 80s. And then once we get into the afternoon, we're going to watch for additional thunderstorms right along the I-44 corridor and south, popping up tomorrow evening. The ones that do pop up could be strong, maybe low grade severe, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Now, north of I-44, you are going to stay dry tomorrow afternoon. All right, scattered showers, thunderstorms tomorrow evening, out of here by midnight, and then we start Wednesday pretty good. Into the upper 60s. We get some sunshine back by Wednesday afternoon, and temperatures a little bit better, right around 90 for afternoon highs. Day planner for you Tuesday, 76 to start, a couple showers. 88 by noon, 95 by 4 p.m., high temp right around 96 degrees. We do even have more rain chances. This is going to be Thursday night into Friday morning, pushing out of here, and then check this out. By early next week, we get a really strong cold front that's going to drop in. So high temperatures by Monday into Tuesday are going to be into lower 80s, and we also have additional chances for rain. All right, 96 tomorrow, 91 Wednesday, 95 on Thursday, 92 on Friday. Near 90 as we go into the weekend. There's rain chances Sunday and Monday, and then temperatures only into lower 80s next week. I went right by the 7-day, but you got to see what it looked like. So at least temperatures are going to get a little bit better for us next week.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, hear from the Kansas City Chiefs ahead of their season opening game against the Lions this Thursday. And highlights from this afternoon's Royals game in Kansas City. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Earlier this summer, the Royals traded away one of the best relievers in baseball, Aroldis Chapman, who is famous for throwing upwards of 103 mile-per-hour fastball. In return, they got Cole Ragans, a starting pitcher from Texas, who gets the start this afternoon. Royals hosting the White Sox, AL Central rivals, and Edward Olivares smashes this pitch in the first inning from Jesse Schulten's. That'd get out for a solo home run, his 7th of the year. It gives the Royals a 1-0 lead. Now to the mound, Ragans. He was dealing in this one. In the second, he gets Yoan Moncada going down looking. Next batter, swinging strikeout to end the frame. Ahead to the fourth, Tim Anderson at the plate, same result. Ragans strikes out 7 in 6 shutout innings. only allowed one hit. Into the fourth now. Royals up 3-0. Nelson Velasquez makes that 5-0 with a 2-run shot. Game kind of gets out of reach after that in the fifth. 10-0 Royals when Olivares up again. He goes out for a 2-run homer. His second multi-homer game of his career. The Royals go on to win 12-1. And we're already into week 1 of the NFL season, believe it or not. Just 3 days until the defending Super Bowl champ Chiefs open the year at home against the Lions. And even though Mahomes, Kelsey, Reed, all of them are returning, the offense could still look different this season.
We're going into a new season, got essentially a new playbook because we have new pieces, and you got to keep just recreating the offense depending on who's in that building and really what you've done last year. So it's the excitement of being able to just get out there and put more on tape. And I tell everybody all the time, man, that Wednesday meeting every single week is my favorite time of the week, because it's like now I get to visualize how we're going to attack. And Coach Reed and this offensive staff never disappoint in terms of how we can do that and show off the strengths of our offense.
NFL season on the horizon. We just wrapped up week 1 of the college football season. In the Big 12, Oklahoma State opens the year with a 27-13 home win over Central Arkansas. The famous football cliche, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one, well, it doesn't really apply to the Cowboys because they have 3.
We're going to practice all 3 of them and distribute reps based on what we think it should be, the way they played. Mentally, I should have checked this, but it might have been as effective and as efficient mentally, the combination of the 3 of them, than we've ever had a combination of 1 in a game that maybe wasn't a blowout. Sometimes we play, and if we blow teams out, then they don't make a lot of mistakes. But sometimes if you're in pressure situations as a quarterback, you might make mental mistakes based on the circumstances. So I know that we graded really, really high from an MA standpoint, quarterback-wise.
So college football just getting started, same with the NFL. Back to the Royals, though. Wins have been really hard to come by so far for them. So to get a win like this where the guys you just traded for are the ones that are standing out, that's big for the future.
It'll be exciting to see what they do next. Yeah. We'll be right back. In an effort to address the nation's ongoing loneliness epidemic, a number of restaurants and nonprofits are joining forces to offer older Americans a place to get some free food, along with a large side of socialization. Fox News correspondent Jackie Ibanez takes a closer look.
It might just look like an ordinary meal, but besides food, some restaurants across a growing number of communities nationwide are serving up smiles as they partner with local programs to help aging Americans combat surging rates of loneliness.
Since the pandemic, isolation of people 60 and older has gone up an unprecedented amount, 200%.
One initiative in particular underway in New Hampshire is called the Dine Out program. It's run by the Hillsborough County Meals on Wheels and aims to entice people 60 years old and up to leave their homes for free food and fellowship at select restaurants.
Our dietitian works on a menu, and seniors 60 and older can sign up at no cost and get a Dine Out Club card. Go to one of these participating restaurants, order a nutritious meal, and socialize.
Earlier this year, the U.S. Surgeon General said feelings of loneliness can be as bad for your health as smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day.
I had just moved into my apartment after having my house for 30 years. I was sitting there and I'd watch TV, eat. It was kind of lonely.
Some participants say the opportunity to get a free nutritious meal is already helping them establish better social connections, avoid some financial stress, and even lose weight. According to data collected by the Associated Press, restaurants in more than 24 states have already partnered with Meals on Wheels or similar nonprofits as of this year to help fight loneliness. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.
Up next, we'll bring you the latest for your home entertainment. An animated sequel, a crime thriller, and Grammy-winning artist are among the new digital, DVD, and music releases available to add to your home library. Fox's Kristen Goodwin runs down the list of what's new in home entertainment.
So, what are you doing here?
An animated superhero sequel tops this week's list of what's new in home entertainment. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse features Shameik Moore returning as the voice of Miles Morales, who travels across the multiverse to meet a new team of spider people.
Certain times of the year it gives you a real buzz.
Joel Edgerton headlines as a horticulturist with dark secrets in the drama thriller Master Gardener. Sigourney Weaver and Contessa Swindell also star.
Where's my daughter?
Nikolai Coster-Waldau, Jamie Foxx, and January Jones star in God is a Bullet. The action crime thriller centers on a small-town detective trying to rescue his teenage daughter from an evil cult.
I'm smart.
Danny DeVito's 1996 film adaptation of Roald Dahl's classic children's book Matilda gets a limited edition 4K steelbook release. DeVito directed and stars alongside Mara Wilson as the lead. Small screen favorites to own, the third and final season of the Paramount Plus series Star Trek Picard, starring Patrick Stewart in his iconic role. Season 6 of the CBS comedy Young Sheldon, Season 3 of the animated series Harley Quinn, and Season 1 of the Australian crime drama Black Snow. For music fans, 6-time Grammy-winning electronic duo The Chemical Brothers dropped their 10th album For That Beautiful Feeling. V of the iconic K-pop band BTS releases his first solo album, Layover. And from Grammy-winning singer-songwriter James Blake's comes his 6th record, Playing with Robots. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of Citrus, the newest member of the English Zoo. Thanks for making us part of your night.